Hello friends, welcome back to Tech Byte series Software Testing Concepts for Beginners. In this session, we are going to learn about test case development. So this is day 6 of test case development session. What is test case development? So test case development is one of the important phases of the STLC. As we already discussed about software testing lifecycle, so the test case development is one of the important phase. So basically test case is a series of steps to complete or perform an action. So and the test case will be developed to meet a particular functional requirement. So let us say we got a requirement from the end user or the customer. To as parallelly when the development team is developing the requirement, the testing team will be developing the test cases just to make sure each test case meets the functionality which is driven, which is expected out of the requirement. So that's what the test case it is. There are several important components of test case. What are those? Those are the name, is basically what is the name of the test case, and test objective. What is the objective of this test case? Why we are developing this test case? What we are expecting after executing this particular test case? This is called test objective. And prerequisite. Prerequisite is basically before we start executing the test case, do we need any data setup? Or do we need any particular condition setup? Do we need any environment? Do we need any additional information? All these are called the prerequisites of the test case. And the test step description, which is called as action. What it is, each test case can have several steps, and each step tells what action has to be performed and then expected result. So what is the expected result after executing that particular step, after executing that particular action? That is called the expected result. And actual result is the result what we have seen in the application when we perform particular action. That is, after each step, whatever the action is being performed, whatever the outcome we see out of the software application, that is called actual result. So test cases must cover all possible conditions, permutations and combinations of each requirement. Let us say a requirement talks about a particular condition or a particular functionality. We need to drive what are all the different combinations or the permutations of the application or the functionality has to be done, has to be expected, which is expected out of that particular requirement. So those all conditions has to be identified and documented in the form of test cases. Let us see how a test case can be developed. So before that one, when we develop the test cases, one requirement can be tagged to multiple test cases. What it means is we can write one or many test cases for individual requirement. And after completing all the test case development, we need to do the RTM. What is RTM? It is a requirements traceability matrix. So it has a mapping of, okay, what is the requirement and for which test cases this requirement has been mapped. And this RTM will give the visibility of the test case coverage for all requirements. Let's try to understand a sample requirement. The three requirements are given, like one requirement says XYZ bank sign up page. Username should be minimum of 6 and maximum of 10 characters. What it means is when the user tries to sign up, he or she should enter minimum 6 characters and maximum 10 characters. And the next requirement is XYZ bank sign up page password should be minimum 8 characters and it should at least have one numeric, at least one uppercase letter and at least one special characters. So these are all the functionalities expected out of the password creation. And this is the requirement. And when you see the third requirement, XYZ bank sign up page, user should select password recovery question. What it means is when users sign up on the page, and on the sign up page, username, password, along with that one, application should give the user to select what is the password hint question and also followed by the password hint answer. This is the sign up page, basic requirement on a sign up page. Let's try to see how we can develop test cases for the same requirement. So when you see the sample test case for the requirement 001, the test case 1, the name, what we are saying is sign up page validate username with less than minimum length. As we already discussed in the previous slide about the requirement, it says the username should be minimum 6 characters and maximum 10 characters. So we discussed in previous session the boundary value analysis is one of the testing technique, right? So considering the testing technique and see how we can drive test cases, how we can write the test cases, different test cases out of the requirement 1. So how we are writing is, first, since we know the minimum character 6 and maximum is 10 allowed to create a username. So here we are taking to create the username less than 6 characters and see. So the objective of the test case is to see the application should not allow the user if he or she enters less than 6 characters in the username and try to sign up, right? And what is the prerequisite to execute this test case? The prerequisite is we should have the URL available for the XYZ bank, right? Now let's try to understand quickly the test steps. What are those? Say for example, the first step we say the description or the action, like we need to open the web browser and enter the XYZ bank URL in the address bar. Then what we expect is user should land on the landing page, and the landing page should have sign up and login links. What sign up is? Sign up is the one where the user can sign up, and login is the one where the user already has a username and password he can log in. So since our test case is all about the sign up page, so the second test step what we are saying is click on the sign up link. So what it does is, if you click, the action is click on the sign up link, and what is the expected result out of this one? The expected result is the sign up page should have username, it's a text box, password, it's a text box, password hint question, it's a drop down list where user can select that whatever the question he or she likes from the list of questions available. And the password hint answer is where it's a text box where the user can enter the answer, and submit and cancel buttons. So when you click on the submit button, usually it should allow them to sign up, and when the user clicks on cancel, it may take back to the previous page. So now the third step what we are doing is enter less than 6 characters in the username text box. So here we are performing the desired action to validate and to see our objective of the test case, what is our objective, right? That is the reason enter 6 characters in less than 6 characters in the username text box, and enter the password, select the password hint question followed by provide the password hint answer, and click on the submit button. So what is expected out of this one? Application should not allow the user to sign up because the username length is less than 6 characters, and also at the same time it should show some error message to the user indicating his sign up is unsuccessful, providing the reason like maybe username is not in the guidelines of the whatever the username minimum requirement is not met. So that is where the test case is. When you see the actual results, we don't fill the actual results when we write the test cases, because actual results will be populated or will be updated at the time of test case execution. So this is how a typical test case looks like for this particular requirements. Now let us see another test case for the same requirement. So if you see that one, the test case name is on the sign up page, validate username length within the range. So what we are doing is here we are providing the username within the length. What we have the range is minimum 6 characters and maximum 10 characters, right? So objective is application should allow the user sign up when username is between 6 and 10 characters. So that means user sign up should be successful, and the precondition looks same, and we see the same test case, everything looks similar, just the third step has a little bit difference. What we are doing in the third step is we are providing the username any number between 6 and 10 characters, and we are providing the password, hint question, and the hint answer. And when we click on the submit button, here the expected result is user sign up should be successful. So this is the test case to validate the positive functionality. And let's see one more example of the test case. In this test case 3, if you see the name, it is sign up page validate user sign up without username. So what we are doing is we are trying to sign up without providing any username. And what is our objective is application should not allow the user to sign up when username is blank and the prerequisite same. In this test case also, all the first two steps look similar compared to the test case 1 and test case 2. And in the third step, here we are not providing any username and provide a password and select a password hint question as well as the password hint answer and click on submit. So application should not allow the user to sign up and it should show error message, right? So this is the typical test case to validate how the application should behave when user does not provide any username on the sign up page. So these are the three different test cases. If you see, these are out of these three test cases, we can call test case 1 and test case 3 as negative test cases because we are trying to see the negative functionality. When I say negative functionality, how the application should behave when the data is provided is not meeting the requirement condition. And the second test case is a positive test case. What positive test case is here? What is the positive condition of the requirement? So this is what the positive and negative test case in general we call in our software testing terminology, right? So these are all the three different test cases how we can come up with for the requirement 1. There are other test cases we have to written based on the requirement, the username length, the upper and boundary values, because the lower boundary value is 6, upper boundary value is 10, so we can write different additional test cases also. But this is how we write the test cases. See, next one is the sample RTM. As we discussed about the requirement traceability matrix as part of the test case development phase, what it is, it will show which requirement has been covered by what are all the different test cases. So which gives them visibility to the business, okay, what is the requirement and which test cases cover these requirements. So if you see, the requirement 1 has been covered by test case 1, 2, 3, and the requirement 2 could be covered by the test case 6 or something like this one. With this, we'll conclude today's session on the test case development, and in the next session, we'll discuss more about the other life cycles of the testing. If you have any questions, please post. If you like the video, please comment, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next session. Thank you.